The rhythm of the swing never changes. Is it long enough? They're beginning to applaud, and quite rightly so. That is a simply magnificent shot from Colin Montgomery.
Laurie's the winner. Not a million miles away, is it?
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Talk of Scotland. We've not been here for a few weeks because we've been a bit busy. As always, we are brought to you by Bradalbin Finance, sourcing the best finance options for small to medium-sized companies in Scotland and the UK, providing expert independence guidance with quick decisions and minimal paperwork. I hate paperwork. You know, like, do you keep hold of your house insurance paperwork and all that kind of stuff? I mean, I'm terrible at that stuff. I'm in the business.
Somebody else's department.
I just hand it on, like Lizzie, and just move it to her side of the table.
Yeah, I just hope it's in an email somewhere.
Yeah, that's where it stores itself, in an email.
In
and
the
then
clouds.
Anyway, I'm not good at paper. Are you good at paperwork, Andy?
No, not very good. I have to go rummaging through everything to find the stupidest little thing.
Yeah.
But no, emails are better.
Emails are nice. I like emails and I like, storing things online. Right, let's move on. We're also brought to you by Link Waterproofs. Waterproof clothing, jackets, trousers, hats, built to withstand the worst of Link's golf weather. Link's golf weather is worse than normal weather. It's funny, sometimes I leave my house and it's an average day with a small wind. And I go to London Links and it's blowing a hoolie.
Yes.
And I thought, oh God. You go to Ladybank and it's an even nicer day. So Link's golf weather is worse, Donald.
If you say so, Stuart, yep. Yeah. But I think you kind of know that. You're kind of brought up with that, aren't you?
I know, but sometimes it blows me. Sometimes I get around the corner of the clubhouse at Lundy and it's like,
It's windier here.
I don't really want to
You have
play
to start
now.
leaning forward so you can move.
It's not fun now.
You should have stayed at Ladybank.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was up. Yeah, anyway. But anyway, if you want to know more about how Links Golf weather can protect you against these horrendous conditions that you come across at Links Golf, you should go to linkgolf.com to see what they have. Now, it's been like 3 weeks, I suppose, since we last did a podcast, so you're going to have loads.
9 weeks for Andy.
I need to start introducing you again, don't I?
I think I'm rather unforgettable.
But we must have had lots happening in the last 9 weeks.
I've done very little. I've not played any golf. I got some... do you want an update on my finger?
Yeah, come on, Goldfinger.
It's the same. I got some therapy. I can't remember what it's called. It's
What?
therapy.
Sorry, what was that word?
Therapy. Some therapy. I don't know how else to say it, Peter.
Is this anything to do with your finger? Or is this your head?
Well, it's some like shock something. So it's like they put it on and it feels quite nice because it's quite cold. But then it sends like pulses, and it's bloody sore, like really, really sore. But I kind of felt that helped, and then it's kind of gone back a little bit. So I'm back there. I'm back there tomorrow.
But they still don't know really what it is.
Not really. It's some. He reckons it's something to do with tendons, but not what's causing it yet. So I still haven't hit any golf balls at all. I couldn't even pitch, which is a shame because that's what I need to practice. But no golf for me at all. I have been meeting quite a few of the manufacturers. They're sort of coming to launch their clubs at the start of the year, so I've had a wee look at some of them, and I've got a couple more this week. So some nice new stuff coming out.
Is that the bit where they try and sell you as much as possible and you try and buy as much as little as possible?
It very much is. It's the time where they say, you know that last year's that we had an issue with this, whereas last year, well, during the season there's never an issue with it, but when the new one comes out they say about how the old one had an issue and we've improved the new one. I haven't had a look at all of them yet, but Callaway looks really nice. Callaway, I can't say what it's called. I'm under strict rules to not say, but it looks really nice, and new Scotty Camerons look really nice as well.
Good.
Might fancy one.
Good.
Oh no, I can't. I use Callaway, but they look nice.
I feel like I fancy new clubs again.
You just got new clubs.
I know, but the blades don't go very far, and also they're quite difficult to hit. I feel
Jesus Christ.
But unfortunately,
I'm getting close to getting new clubs. I think I need that
Yeah.
like honeymoon period.
It's exciting, isn't
They
it?
want
getting
to
new
go and hit balls.
Yeah,
Take the wrappers off.
it's very exciting.
I understand why people want new clubs, like, and just want them, just want something new. You know, like sometimes we're like, such and such just got new clubs, he didn't need them. I get why, because like you say, the honeymoon. It's when you get like a new wedge, so you hit it from like 150 yards because you just want to hit it like from everywhere. I know mine go 150 yards anyway, but
It's much easier for us to want to have new clubs because we do get special, discounts. Whereas when people are spending the kind of money, and I'm thinking, changing the clubs every year is an expensive deal.
it's a lot of money as well, though, isn't
It's a
it?
lot.
We were talking the other day about, I think it was about wedges, and I remember when I first got into golf, you'd get a trade in of 30 quid for your like a Vokey wedge, and a new one was like 70 quid. So you could get a set of them for like 150 quid. It's like £600 now
Yeah.
for 3 wedges. It's mental. But keep doing it. It's worth it, everyone.
Every sport's the same though. I remember when the conversation, I think we said it the other week there, but and it was a goalkeeper and he was talking about an ice hockey keeper. He was talking about hockey gloves being 800 quid
Yeah.
for a pair of gloves.
Yeah.
So every sport's the same. It's only when you actually get into it and talk to people that do these sports and specialise in it, you realise golf's not any more expensive than a lot of them.
No.
Price of living in general, just
Yeah.
ridiculous, isn't it?
My wife says she wants an electric bike. So how do we look? Oh my God.
It's the same as a
You're
car.
cheaper buying a car, yeah.
That's funny, that, because I'm selling an electric bike.
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
I'll buy it.
Are we, what's it called? Peloton.
That's not an electric bike.
Is it not? What's she wants one.
She wants one that she can go out the house in, Andy.
You plug it into the wall, don't you? Define electric bike. You didn't say she wanted an electric bike to go places. That's different.
Peloton.
I'll push it down the stairs if you want. Is it an electric bike or not?
Stuart, I'm not getting far in this.
You can watch Netflix on it. Why? Come on.
That's brilliant. I like that.
It's an electric bike in my defence. You
Yeah.
plug it into the wall.
Anyway, everything's expensive. Andy, Peter.
Hi, Stuart. I haven't done too much. I play golf with you and your son and Ewan, who used to work here at Lundy for a few days ago. At Lundy, it was lovely. The first time I've been at Lundy for a long. I've not been at Lundy at all, really, for years. But it was good. Course was excellent. And I remember just cards on the table. I wasn't good at golf. I think we played off the front pegs, right? And I counted up as I always do, and I think I shot like 3 over par. So it was poor, but not embarrassing because everyone is definitely not embarrassing because it was good fun. But I remember like a few months ago thinking I just want to have, my goal is to be boring at golf and just be boring. And I'd love to have a boring round of golf. I've totally gone 3-6. I'm totally turning this in the head. That is not what I want. I count up and I was thinking about how many good shots, bad shots and all that. And I didn't really hit many bad shots, but there was no good ones. And that's the thing that gets me going in golf. That's the thing that makes me buzz, is when I hit a good shot. One that I think's good. I've done something with a ball that took a bit of guts to sort of try and hold it up against the wind.
How many times have you ever hit a good shot then? Because I remember when I was coaching you never hit many, according to you.
Yeah, but I played that game just wafting away, and I was just like, I was thinking back over it. I was like, it wasn't bad, but it was poor. Like the distance control was poor or something. There was something wrong in it, but I didn't really try hard to hit a good one. It was almost like not trying to hit a bad one almost. But it was rubbish, and it made me just feel like I hadn't played golf. So yeah,
Because you haven't.
no, I get that, and I've got my rusty excuses, right? I always like a rusty excuse, but this was just I just thought through the round. I was like, yeah, but there's no bad swings, really bad shots. It was just everything was like meh, it's pathetic, and it wasn't bad. It was just meh, and I don't like that. So I started off the round trying not to use lasers, so I was making a conscious effort to try and hit golf shots, and then I bottled out of all that all day and just tried not to hit bad shots. So I'm going to have to change the way I practice, because clearly this isn't working.
I've heard you say this, that not use lasers a lot. Why do you do that?
Oh, just for one game, and it lasted about 12 holes, and eventually I was like, where's those markers? Where's the 150?
See, to be honest though, on a day.
No, it was just to get a feel for it was windy, right? So it was just to get a feel for trying to control the ball flight rather than hitting to a number, because I felt that's what was wrong last time. That wasn't the case this time. Everything else was way out as well, but yeah.
See how important are yardages? I mean, you asked why you you would use a laser, or why don't you want to use a laser? I can't remember what you asked.
Why don't you want to use the
Well,
lasers?
on a windy day, I mean, I don't know what was blowing, 20 miles an hour, something like that.
Like Joey chat, it was two clubs.
It was two. Yeah, okay.
It was.
I hate talking like that
I
as
know,
well. Yeah,
so do I.
but like, so what? How important is a yardage? You know, it's almost like the yardage is roughly 150 is probably fine. It's so much more to do with.
Trajectory and spin and control, yeah.
But do you still need to know the yardage?
It doesn't have to be. You don't have to have it lasered, but I need to know because my eyes are so bad these days,
Yeah.
and I've done it for so long, and I could think, oh, that's 150, and it's maybe 130, or it's maybe 170, and that's a big difference. But
No,
if it's 150 to 155, especially on the wind, it doesn't make any odds.
So have a starting point is important.
Yes.
It is. It was just for me to try and change my flights. I was thinking I might try a flight rather than a swing. And it didn't work because I needed, like Donald said, you still need in the back of your brain, well, if you're still like, oh, I don't really know if it's 150 or 165, then it totally throws you out before you even start. Yeah. So it kind of worked, but it didn't work. But yeah, no, that made me really. I was sitting there just at the end thinking, I've just played around the golf and not really tried anything. And I don't mind trying and failing, like I've done it my whole career, trying and failing, miss cut, make cut, miss cut, make cut. But that I now realise that's what makes me tick a little bit more.
Yeah.
I realise it's taken me 40 years. I kind of knew it, but I thought I'd go the other way. Another way is not me. Safe is not me. I don't like safe.
It was
Safe's
the
boring.
worst. It was the worst I've seen you play, Peter. I mean,
But I didn't hit any bad shots.
but 3 over par
Really?
run Lundy off the front tee and any win for you is not good enough, Peter.
I know.
It's not good enough.
And I drove it all right.
Yeah,
And that's what I mean. It was just the approach play.
but
so-
you weren't at the races. You were as poor as I've seen you. It was,
All right.
I actually quite
I
enjoyed
guess
it.
everyone in the room
Cheers,
can tell.
bro.
They can tell that Stuart obviously won the game.
I
Stuart
really
beat us.
enjoyed that game. I think you should continue playing like this. Play safe.
I need to change things up.
Yeah.
That was not enjoyable playing golf like that. So I'm going to change the way I play again. Just go back to making eights and have fun.
8s and 3s.
8s and 3s.
I just think Stuart's your weakness. Must be a while since you've beaten him, no?
Calm, Andy, calm down.
Probably the last time, actually. Anyway, Donald, what about you?
I've been much the same. I haven't played any golf. I haven't played golf since I played the new course at Trump. And
Did we talk about the new course at Trump?
No, we didn't.
oh, did we not?
Nope.
Have we not?
Not in the
When did
pod.
it? So I played the new course at Trump up in Aberdeen, and it was absolutely fantastic. Not as spectacular because you're not teeing off up so high, but just some fantastic holes, and it's unbelievable condition for something that's had grass on it for less than a year.
As good a golf course as the other one?
Yeah, just about. Maybe not. As I say, not as spectacular, but yeah, absolutely worth going to play.
I must
some
admit, did you-
sensational holes on it.
Did you see they were advertising for members this last month?
Were they?
Yeah, I was almost going to. I wasn't going to, but I was quite interested in how much that was. I mean, how much? It'd be quite.
It's not as expensive as you think if
No.
you're out if you're an out of towner.
Yeah,
But it's a hellish journey up there.
it's a bit of a journey. But to be able to take a couple of pals now and then.
Do you know what? Though? You're saying it's a hellish journey. I remember last year or the year before, I played on the Thursday, and I was coming from Kirkcaldy. I played on the Thursday at Archerfield, which is just across the water there.
Well, it's 10 mile away, but it takes you
And
an hour and a half.
and I played at Trump on the Friday. I played Archerfield Thursday, Trump the Friday, and I got to Trump quicker than I can get to Archerfield,
Yeah.
just because of the roads. The new bypass at Aberdeen, you're up there in under 2 hours.
Oh, what I mean by a hellish journey, I just mean
It's a long way to go.
golf's already a long part out of your day, so then to add on the 3 hours of car journeys on
but-
top of it,
but
it's
do you
been
know
a whole
what?
day.
I would do it to play there.
So
Is that good?
So why don't you join then, Donald? It's
Well,
I mean,
I don't play enough golf at Ladybank. Never mind joining somewhere else.
Plus, you've got facilities as well, haven't you? And I think
Yeah.
if you were keen and you liked practicing and all that, these sort of places you could go in like Archerfield as well. You could just go and spend.
You
I
could
will
spend all day
personally,
there,
I
yeah.
could spend all day on the wedge area, the chipping green. Same up at Trump. The wedge area is phenomenal. The putting green's good fun. It's not just a flat thing you could have. But you've got to be in the part of your life that wants to do that. I suppose that wants to practice.
I mean, it says it's got a sign there saying the best 36 holes golf in the world.
not far off it.
Yeah, well, I haven't played everywhere obviously in the world, but yeah, it's pretty damn
In
good.
this country, anyway.
Yeah, the only downside it has is the weather in Aberdeen.
Oh, I thought
I mean,
they
that-
say Trump.
But the weather. It's the best golf course in the world, but you could be minging.
Yeah,
And that's the
it
thing
could
is-
be minging anywhere though.
Not in Florida. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean.
That's a bit more than an hour and a half to get there, though.
I just say, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's if you get a chance to go, it's definitely worth a visit. That's sensational. But so other than that, I haven't played golf since then, and the teaching suddenly taking a dive. It's gone from being kind of full to dead quiet.
It really has, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've had plenty of time to practice, and I've tried to hit a few balls, and I just get bored so quickly. Do you know, practice, and unless I'm working in something or working towards something, you know, oh, I've got a game coming up, I've got this, I need to practice for that. I get bored so quickly. And that's the one advantage we've talked about before. Rather than hitting balls on my trackman in the bay, I'll go into the bays and I'll play the games on Top Tracer. That's the only way I can get myself motivated, because I'll play the approach challenge.
Well, we'll do that in the winter again, won't we?
We'll
beat
need
TGS
to
and
do
stuff.
that. Yeah,
because I'm very similar. If you've nothing to sort of aim towards, it's like, oh, yeah, I could hit a few.
And as I say, unless you've had a lesson, right, and you'll get something to work on, I get bored. I start hitting it quite good, and I think, oh well, that's fine, that'll do. And I'm hitting it rubbish, and I go, oh, I'm not practicing that.
That's hard work.
So that'll do.
Yeah, so it's funny how people stop getting lessons in the winter. Eh? You feel like if you've got 6 lessons to have in a year, you should have 4 in the winter.
4 in the winter and 2 ticking on, yeah.
Yeah, but most people would have 1 in the winter if they're lucky, and then get all the 6 in the summer. Or 5. Where, you know, like, work on your game now. This is the time.
Plus this time of year as well, the only downside, I find personally, to coaching this time of year, or this, maybe not quite yet, but coming up, is it is just swing. You know, there's no on-course lessons. There's very few short game lessons off grass. You can do them in the mat, and that's fine. You can get a few numbers and whatnot, but it's not the same.
Well, it's definitely swing
putting
time.
lessons. It's
swing.
just swing. It's swing.
But that's the perfect time to work in your swing.
Correct. I used to marvel at I say this to quite a lot of people, but you know, like your Swedes, your Scandos that are 6 feet under snow in the winter. And they produce talent after talent after talent every year, and they're 6 months just can't get in a golf course, and we're dead lucky here. We can still play. They'll be under snow now.
They're saying that, but the talent that produces probably abroad. I'm not spending 6 months in.
All right,
Sweden.
but part of what they do is they lock themselves. Well, they don't lock. They go into these indoor facilities, and they batter the golf swings, and they do all the hard work in the winter. So, like what Stuart's saying, and then when they come out in the summer, it's tweaks, and then off they go. They're not really working on their games, and that's kind of what Stuart's saying. I think an awful lot of people could do that kind of model a little bit better. It's different for everyone, but you could model it on that a little bit more and do the hard work now.
Yeah, I think especially if you're making a swing change,
Yes,
it's awful easy to be put off by seeing the results. Whereas if you're hitting it indoors into a net or whatever, you're not seeing the flight, you're just working on the swing change. You're not realising you're hitting a 30-yard cut when you're doing it, right? But you're just ingraining that swing change. So in that respect, it can be good,
yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, I had the police come to my door.
Again.
Mm-hmm. So 9:30, I'm sitting there at 9:30. We're just watching The Traitors. You know, halfway through The Traitors, which is really exciting.
God.
I enjoy The Traitors.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Did you watch like Dancing on Ice after it or something rubbish like that as well?
No,
No. All
no,
right.
just The Traitors.
but anyway, the door goes knock, right? And you know when like I live in the country, and see when somebody knocks on your door at 9:30 at night,
You grab your gun.
you shit yourself.
You get the Doug.
I did get the Doug. Says, you come with me, Sevy.
Is this how bitter you are about losing from the police and your brother?
And I still got the door, and the guy's like, I'm here because of fuel theft. I was like, what? Fuel theft? He says, yes, there was a white car drove away without paying for their fuel at Kennaway petrol station.
This does sound like something you would do.
Yeah.
And I thought it was my daughter. I'm so sorry. I don't know what she's done. I'm pointing at her. She's got a wee white Fiesta. I'll have to have a word with her. But don't worry, I'll turn up in the morning. No, so he says, no, sir, it's an Audi.
Oh, no.
I was
How embarrassing.
So I said, oh, it's me.
And you've done it. You've actually done it.
I filled up the car and driven away.
He's kidding on this is the first time.
I know. But have these CCTVs and everything nowadays. You can't get away with it anymore. So I had to go down the next morning and pay.
Did you have to pay extra?
I was wanting to. I wasn't sure what's the done thing here. Do I
Is
give
that
him do I give him a bottle of wine? Do I pop in a tip or what? But no, I just paid my 70 quid and walked off. No. But I was quite embarrassed.
This genuinely, Donald, this isn't the first time he's done this.
I'm not surprised.
Do you remember that time he was filling his car with petrol? I don't know what you did, but you somehow managed to turn it around and squirt it on yourself.
No,
didn't you?
no, it's because it says a long hose. So, you go the long hose and you reach it over and it's never long enough. But it was almost long enough. It was kind of half in. So I squished the thing, I pulled the trigger, and I ended up covered in petrol from head to toe.
Burning.
So you thought, I'm not paying for it because of that?
No, I mean, I was like so embarrassed and I was drenched in petrol and I had to go. I thought, well, I can't go to the golf because I don't really play golf. And I had to go back to the car and I'm at the car and my legs start burning, like proper burning.
Oh, this is brilliant.
You should have put the fag out,
When I
Stuart.
got out of the car, I had to pull my trousers down. I was running up the stairs, or trying to run up the stairs in Dundee in the flats with my trousers at my ankles.
Again!
Lizzie, I'm home.
Anyway, so yeah, I have problems with petrol. But yeah, so the police came and then they came the next night to make sure that everything had been paid and sorted. And I said, yes, sir, it's been
How
paid.
embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
Were they laughing at you?
No, he was quite serious.
Do you think you're on the watch list at the garage? Oh, this is a guy that is quite bad for not
I
paying.
wasn't-
You get pub watch.
It wasn't. It was uncomfortable going for my next petrol.
Do you now go to a different garage for your petrol?
Absolutely, I would. Couldn't show face there again.
It's easy to do though. I was
Is
just thinking, not thinking.
Can't say I've ever done it.
No, it's not
I've
easy to
never
do,
done
is
it
it?
either.
It's not easy to do. Anyways, that's other than that. Yeah, I played with Peter, and that was that.
Beat Peter in one.
Beat Peter.
We won, yeah, we
Yeah.
won quite easily. Peter played badly, and actually my son played with Peter, and he was not good.
Yeah,
So-
I dragged them down with me.
So it was quite an easy win in the end. It was boringly easy. Don't know. It's nice to have boring easy.
To be
I'm-
fair,
I'm-
you did
I'm
birdie
glad-
3 out of the last 4.
I'm glad
so
you,
did
the way
well.
you just glossed over it. Yeah, we won. That's what kind of happens all the time.
Yeah,
You
you shouldn't pick up your successes. You know. You know.
He was so excited he didn't even pay for his petrol.
Anyway, so we've got a couple of things to talk about. Challenge Tour final was this week, won by
James Morrison.
long-time European
Which-
Tour player.
Well, it was planned to be his final event, right? Because he's finished. He's wanting to get into the commentary. He's already started a few tournaments doing commentary. He was lying, I don't know, 38th going into this. Way down in the 30s. Last event, just going to give it one little hurrah. I think he had his kid on the bag by the looks of things.
He did.
Yeah, and yeah, he was just, and then went out and won it at a canter. I mean, he was 5 ahead with 4 to go or something. Won it at a canter, and now he's got, and he had to win it to get a card. I think he was in that position where he had to finish first. Maybe second wasn't enough. Anyway, did it, and now he's going to have to keep playing. I mean, when I say that, going to have to keep playing, you'd be delighted secretly. But yeah, it just shows you kind of like mentally, if you're like, oh, it's my last event, and just cruise, and then you win. I mean, there's obviously a talented golfer, right? But it just shows you how mental it is. And maybe if you had to finish, I don't know, if he was 24th going into it, maybe the week wouldn't happen. It just shows sometimes, just like, he's a class golfer and he just managed to relax and just breeze through and just blew past everybody.
How many times has he won? Has he won a couple
He's
of times?
won on tour a couple of
Two.
times, James.
Oh.
Yeah, he's always been a good player, but I guess as the years have gone on, like, I've not spoken to him. He was never the longest. He was always a good golfer. Not that he was short, but you know, these young guys now just be coming through and just beating him up and hitting it further and further past him. And I guess he's kind of just given it, like, time's time. And by the way, not enough people call time early enough as far as I'm concerned. They just keep going, Ben. We'll get onto that. And he's just, I'm delighted for him. Really good.
Yeah. He won. Ewan Walker was 3rd, David Law 15th, Daniel on 16th. But Scotland have 3 players moving up to the European Tour. The DP World Tour.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 was good.
Three's awesome.
Yeah.
3 out of 20. 20 cards. 3 of them get through. That's phenomenal.
Oh, very good.
David Law, Daniel Young, and Ewan Walker. Ewan Walker's sort of that. He's been the bubble boy for a while, hasn't he?
Exactly. So the last few years he's finished sort of 21st, 22nd, 24th, blah blah. There's another guy that's doing that now. The English guy, I can't remember his name now. Not Hepworth. He finished about 24th. Anyway, finally he's got through. David Law's obviously got his card back, which is great. And yeah, Daniel Young's first time getting his card. So, look, good times for these guys.
It's exciting. We've also got Tour School. Gregor Graham has got through both stages of Tour School after what we talked about a couple of weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, whenever it was the last one. He has been injured most of the year, but he's kind of breezed through both first stage and second stage. So he's off to final.
That's impressive.
Then we've got Sandlock, Craig Howie, and Mark Warren also made his way through second stage there.
Did he?
Yeah. All qualified for final stage, which is 6 rounds in a few weeks. I don't know exactly when it is. See the 6 round thing. Why 6? I mean, I understand the principle. The longer you play, the better you're going to get a go. But no other tournament is 6 rounds, and then suddenly we get to final tour school, and it's 6 rounds. It's a marathon.
Is it because there's so many playing?
Two courses.
Yeah.
It's
a money-making exercise, isn't it, as well? They make money.
Well, Tour School is a money-making exercise.
What, do they pay to play every round? Is it right? Is there a extra couple of green fees?
It's I think from a player's point of view, you can look at it 2 different ways. 6 rounds, an extra couple of days, that's an extra expense to the player if you don't get your card. You get your card, you don't care about anything. So there's the downsides to it, and then obviously like what you're saying, 6 rounds hopefully weeds out the
I suppose
the week.
6 rounds as well. You've got, do you know, it's your whole year is based on this 6 rounds. So in a 4 round, if you have one bad round, you could be out it. But at least over 6 rounds, one bad round, you could still qualify because you get 5 rounds to make it up.
Right. It's just when the whole rest of the world golf is 4 rounds. Why do we suddenly think that that's not good enough? It needs to be 6 in this one. I mean, should the Open not be 6 rounds because you want to have the best?
Stuart, enough.
What's the say on? Why is the Open not 6 rounds? If you don't,
because we'd get bored with it.
Well, I said that a few years ago. Why not make all tournaments 3 rounds and just the majors 4 rounds? If that backs up what you're saying.
Yeah, but I suppose it does. I just find it a strange one. I've always found it a strange one. Why 6? But anyway, I understand the cream rises over a longer period.
Yeah, and then you could also look at it saying, well, why bother? Because you've had all season to try and get your card in Challenge Tour or try and get your whatever.
Yeah, but some of the guys haven't.
The guys that haven't had a go yet, yes, that's their first go. But the rest of the guys, it's a like Mark Warren, it's a lottery ticket at the end. It's a bonus because you've not quite done it. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a tough
We
week.
don't know the answer as to why it's 6 rounds, Stuart.
But we do as well. We know the thinking. Right, okay. Spencer Henderson, long-time national coach.
Coach Andy.
I think he took over. Yeah, well, that's
I
probably.
think he would quite admit that.
It's not on his CV. Erased.
Unofficially.
Yeah, I think he took over. He was sidekick to Ian Ray, who was the national coach before. Before that was Jim Farmer, maybe. But so Spencer Henderson has unfortunately lost his job. Dispensed as Scottish national coach after a number of years for, I think, failure to produce the results that was hoped for. But I found I thought it was newsworthy. I feel sorry for the guy. But his complaint is there's more to it. There's lack of funding's reduced quite a lot over the last few years for the young players in Scottish golf, and it's difficult when they're not getting as many away trips and as much access to mentorship and help and all the other things that junior or young golfers need as they move through the ranks up into professional golf.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's. Well, I certainly hope they're not blaming Spencer for this. Spencer's obviously a very, very good coach. And
well, somebody's made the decision at Scottish Golf.
Yeah. But I mean, I've been of the view for many a year we shouldn't have a national coach. We should have a national team captain. Whatever. For years, in years. Even I can remember my first boss, Gregor Howie, moaning about it. You know, I've taught these kids all the way through up to national level. They've become really good golfers, and suddenly they make the Scottish team. Oh no, you now need to go for lessons from the Scottish coach.
To be fair,
you know, they shouldn't be dragged away from their coach. That's why I'm saying, rather than having a national coach, you should have a national team captain who can organise the coaching, and if they want to go to him, fine, but you want to stick with your local pro or whoever your go-to man is for coaching, you should be able to do that. So, and I'm very much in agreement with that.
I agree a lot of what you say, but I also think, like, let's say for example you take them out to, I don't know, Dubai for a week. You take the top 10 guys out to Dubai, which we now can only afford to take about 4 guys at Dubai. But anyway, you take the top group out to Dubai. Rather than have a captain who is just a businessman, you'd prefer to have a guy that can teach them performance and tell them maybe how to utilise their time the best.
Yeah, I'm not saying
not teach them the golf.
I'm not saying the captain shouldn't be a golf pro.
Right.
It's somebody with knowledge, yeah.
Still,
but
it's a performance-related job.
Yeah, you call it whatever you want, Pete. Somebody
Well,
there that the guys
that's
can
what it's
touch the
called. It's
base
head of
with.
performance, isn't he?
I don't know what Spencer's title was.
I think it was head of performance. But anyway, yeah, no, I get both sides. It's the funding's the biggest thing, isn't it?
How do you think we should, we as a country should support? Yeah, because there's trains of thoughts. Some people, maybe the older generation would, argue that we shouldn't really be giving anybody funding their amateur golfers. Why are we funding them to do anything? So what help do you think we should be giving young golfers as they go into professional golf or make the transition, or even before that? Like, at what point do you start helping certain groups of performance golfers, or like elite golfers, and what does it do for
your normal golfer that's paying £16.50 or whatever it is?
Yeah,
it's a difficult argument. You would say in the past that they were looking after the teams when you had career amateurs, right? So they needed a bit of help because they were having to give up their day job. But now it's creating a pathway into professional golf. So your older guys, we're going to say, well, why are we funding him if he's going to turn pro? We're not getting anything back from that. So I don't know.
The goal is, I suppose, to have Bob McIntyre, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what the goal is. Yeah, to create the inspiration for the next generation.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of it's mentorship as much as anything else that we need for the young kids.
Yeah, which obviously Stephen Gallagher and Paul Laurie have done a lot of.
Yeah,
they're doing a great job out with Scottish golf.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking, like, I've done it as a young sort of golfer who looks half decent. What would you want? What do you want out of it? Do you want a check and go and spend your money? I wouldn't want. I just think we could help the young players out a little bit better with. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Like, say for example, free driving range balls. I mean, if you give a kid 300 balls a day, that's 10 grand you've basically given them, right? It's not really costing you 10 grand, but at a driving range, you could fund them. You could you could have their memberships for free at the golf clubs. There's lots of things we could do to help them. Because it is a very, very expensive job. But it's like Donald says, you've got to want to do it. Like sponsoring them and all that. I mean, I know you can't sponsor an amateur, but...
Well, I think you can now.
Okay.
Well, like I don't really like giving young people money. Because I don't know what they're going to do with it. So I'd much rather say, right, we'll have your lessons covered, we'll have your practice facilities covered, your memberships covered, your gym memberships covered. We'll do all that sort of stuff, and we'll help you out as much as we can. If you need to go into a shrink, we'll help you out with that. That sort of stuff needs to be covered rather than funding them to do stuff. And then, if they want to do a tiny part-time job so they can stay in a nicer hotel, fine, do that. But I don't know,
I think they're probably doing these things already, aren't they?
Yeah, but the money's gone way down. So maybe if Stuart's saying, what can we do to help them out? Maybe smaller businesses, rather than fishing out thousands of pounds, you can just give them a little bit of your time, or a little, like as a golf coach, and give them a bit. Not this golf coaching is a bad example because you shouldn't ever change coach, but you could help. Your golf club could easily just go, right, like there's a young talent over there. Right? He's not paying membership. You don't have to wait till you're an honorary member.
I think probably there's more of that goes on than you realise.
Really?
I think so.
Not my day, there wasn't.
I know, but we're not talking about your day. We're talking about now.
Yeah. Yeah. Andy?
I don't know. I think it's difficult. I mean, where'd you kind of stop with that? I mean, if you look at us, we don't get our training paid for, and we're the ones that are going to be teaching these guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, where do you kind of stop with
and
it?
giving them 300 balls a day sounds fine until you come to the range owner who's going.
No, I get this.
Wait a minute. He's taking up the
And
bay.
he's taking up a bay. Yeah, it's not really costing you because you pick up the balls anyway, but he's taking up a bay.
Who's paying for those balls? Are the Scottish Golf? Because that sounds like a lot of money from the Scottish Golf for one golfer.
I know. And you already give.
It gets difficult. Obviously, we would give them a price, but they would still have to pay something.
But there's other things as well. You know, like I was very lucky growing up because I had you guys to go and play golf with. There was lots of decent players in my area. I think I do genuinely see a couple of decent golfers kicking about this area that are looking to do things in golf and looking to turn pro. And when I see them, they're on their own hitting, playing golf, or they're, like go and play. Maybe help them play with better players, or have the ability to go and travel and go and play over there, and not have to ask. Like it should just be, get them on the course. It should be all right to get them on the course and go and play with a few better players in there. I think playing with better players, surround yourself with better people, surround yourself with maybe somebody mentor-y type people. It doesn't have to be a mentor. I hate that because it puts like a title on things, but just some, just being in an environment of people that have maybe been there, done it, trying to do the same.
More experienced, as you say. Been there and done it. Just easier to get in contact with and as you say, play a wee bit of golf with them.
Yeah, without sounding like a golf
But they've got to want to do that as well.
Yeah,
the kids have got to want to do that as well, and they should be asking the questions. You've said it. We've played golf with young guys, never asked us a thing on the golf course.
No, you're right, but I was a little bit golf snobby when it came close to tournament time. Like I would only really like look for games with people that were decent at golf. Right, I wouldn't want to play with, no offence, a 12 handicapper. I wanted to surround myself with better players, watch better shots. Maybe I could learn off. You can still learn off anybody at your level or somebody slightly worse, but 12 handicappers maybe not going to teach a pro that much. You know what I mean? So I got a little bit snobby or a little bit sort of picky with who I played with closer to the time. But I think we could help. I don't know. I would like to think. I just see an awful lot of kids at the moment, or a few kids, not an awful lot. I see 2 or 3 that I know are trying. I just think they're away playing like just playing with the wrong people, and I think that can make a big difference.
Yeah, I think mentorship is important, and I think mentorship can start quite young. We've got parents of kids that think they're good at golf. That think, Jimmy's got a lesson and got a tournament in 3 weeks. We need to get some lessons in.
Well, that's the other thing. You need to educate the parents a bit better as well, don't you?
But Ireland, right? So when I played Michael played in the Scottish under-14s. Played with this wee Irish kid, and this wee Irish kid was a good golfer. Played a 14-year-old, played off 3 or 4, but he was in this Irish elite squad, and he's already getting performance coaching. He's getting psychology help. He's getting fitness help, and he's got the access to supposedly the top coaching in Ireland, through these elite squads they have. There doesn't seem to be anything like that happening in this country. That requires a lot of funding. Sometimes I think there's a balance between that, because I think there's a danger there of being burnt out and too much pressure on the young kid. He's in performance squads at the age of 14. I mean, what does it really mean? Who wants to be good at 14? You want to be good at 20, not 14.
But we've got these squads in Scotland as well.
14-year-old, that's quite young.
But we've got all the different age groups, the elite squads and everything like that.
Yeah, I think that starts at 16. But anyway, okay. We're probably gibbering on about stuff. So what about the transition between amateur and pro? Where are we going there? What do you think they need help in? Same thing. I mean,
well, it's money. Money's number one, right? So you need.
Before you get there, they need a reality check to see whether they're good enough or not first. Before you talk about money or anything like that, they need a proper reality check that if they're wanting to turn pro, that scratch isn't good enough. Right? They think they're the best at It's the small fish, right? Big fish. They're the big fish at the golf club because they're playing off scratch at 17. Right? Nowhere near good enough, and somebody needs to tell them that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's more people giving it a go than they're used to. And these, and like you said, there's an awful lot more people that I would just like, what are you doing?
But surely the funding help would only start to the pick 12 guys that are doing well in the country, you know, in national events. Not.
Yeah, but that's getting back to the funding. But I think Donald's right. I think there's an awful lot of guys trying to give it a go that are almost going full time as much as they can physically afford to do. That I'm just like, you're miles away yet. Do you know what I mean? You're either too early to turn pro or you need the reality check.
Yeah, and you can throw as much money as you want, right? They might have their parents maybe get a pal that's a multimillionaire and says, right, I'll fund him for that.
Yeah.
They're just throwing away money, right? They need to reality check, right? Go and watch a tournament. Go and play with one of these guys. Get a game, right, and they'll realise how far away some of them are.
Like I didn't always totally agree with what you said in terms of, look, if you can't win your 5-stroke play, and then if you can't be challenging at your national events, what are you doing? Because I never really totally, but I do a little bit agree. Because I don't think you have to win, but I think you have to at least be up there chances. There's an awful lot of these guys turning pro that I'm just like, well, what is your best ever tournament? I mean, it's pretty pathetic, you know. Or you might have had one lucky tournament, and you go, oh, I'll give it, you know, like if you can't sort of not dominate, but if you can't be one of the big boys in Scotland, what chance you got in the world? We're tiny.
Correct.
We're tiny. So like, I do think I do kind of, I'm getting back to a wee bit agreeing with Donald's, just not the wording you used, but you have to win. You don't have to win, but you
have to compete.
You certainly have to compete, yeah. And I think if you can't compete in this small, I mean, tiny fishbowl, what chance you got when you get in the big one? And I do get that some people progress later in life, and you might get that kind of, you know, everyone goes back to that Poulter story, the Paul Laurie stories. Oh, yeah, they were playing off like 12 when they were 10. I don't care. That's just like the outliers.
Yeah, you've got, but Paul was playing off 4 when he turned pro, famously, but then worked his balls off to work and he'd done his training and he won everything as an assistant, and then he won everything at the region, and
He
then
also
he won.
hadn't really played golf much.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same with Paul Laurie, Poulter. He hadn't really played golf much and then turned pro. I mean, playing off 4, doing nothing, and then suddenly they try and they're, I'm quite good at this. I don't know.
But the whole walk of life changed a bit more. I think there used to be a case where you turned pro, you did your PGA, and then if you're good enough, you maybe give it a wee go, like during your PGA stint or whatever. Guys are now turning pro, like me. They're just going, nah, don't want PGA. I just want to play.
I don't see.
And there's a lot more of those guys now.
I've softened on this a little bit because I was very much like the way you're thinking. Tell them all their crap. You know, I'm Simon Cowell. You're all shite. Give up.
Oh,
you know,
that's not what yeah.
I know you're not meaning it, but you know, but like I quite like seeing a young guy for a year or two, if they're really keen on it, giving it a proper go. Not like half-hearted giving it a go where they hit 100 balls and then they go home and then they'll maybe play 9 holes the next day. But if you're giving it a proper go and getting something out of your system, I don't have a problem with
Yeah, that's the difference. If they're giving it a proper go, if they're working hard at it.
So many of them don't give a go. That's the problem, I think.
I'm playing golf full time, but you know, they'll play twice a week.
Full time, you never see them practicing.
That's nonsense, yeah. But if you saw somebody in the range every day or the golf course every day working their butt off, chipping, putting, everything, they're good. For me, they're going to get better.
Well, yeah, I mean, I say it to decent players that I teach all the time. Like, the day I need to tell you to practice a little bit more is just the day you just put your sticks away. You know, if I need to tell you to practice harder, forget it. You're never gonna make it. But again, if you're waiting until the day you turn pro to put that effort in, that effort should be going in before you turn pro, right? Yeah. So it's not like, oh right, okay, I've got funding, I'm going to give it a go this year. My best result is 32nd in the 5-stroke play. I'm going to give it a go because I've got funding. Wasting everyone's time. You might make it.
Okay, so what about the ones that are good enough, right? That are in the top 10 golfers in Scotland. And out of them, there's probably, to be fair, I mean, I look at like, okay, we've had Sandy Lyle got to world number 1 and Monty got to 2.
Yep.
And McIntyre got to what, 7 now?
Yep.
And that's 3 top 10ers in the last 50 years.
Which is good.
If we have 3 top 10ers in the next 50 years, I think we're doing well.
Yep.
And you know, in the European Tour, how many players have we got now? 10. That's those 10 players. You're probably getting one new player every year, maybe if we're lucky. If we're really lucky, I think one new player. on the European Tour. It's such a small number of players that are actually ever going to get anywhere close to it.
Correct.
So, like, how many players do you fund? Do you fund 12 every year? Or do you fund 6? Or we're down to 3 now, apparently?
3 full-timers. Yeah, that was one of Spencer's problems, wasn't it? He says, it used to have a bigger pool to pick from of full-time players. Now there's only 2 or 3. So I've basically got to take them.
How do you help?
But a lot of these guys are in the States now as well, aren't they? So many guys go to the States. That's what.
So, yeah,
you're not funding them to fly over every other week.
And then the States are, they're getting such good funding anyway because they're going to all these amazing golf tournaments. What help does Scottish golf really need to give Conor Graham anymore? What's the point?
Exactly.
But then, there's always the danger in golf, right? Because I know Stuart Graham, who is a very good golfer himself, and by the way, I think that's really important. I think having a parent who actually understands the game and
helps.
When to go for lessons, when not, what tournaments to play in as a young player, when what's not important, what is important. So he himself has guided his kids through. Golf.
He's been a good mentor.
And now he's at the point where he can't really mentor anymore because they're above him in golf, so they need help now. But so what do you? And what I was going to say was, Stuart's a businessman, has got money, and he's been able to support his kids himself. Yeah. So it's always the difficulty is always distinguishing who needs help and who doesn't need help, and is that fair or not fair? It's difficult, isn't it? Because we all want the guy down Methil living in a council house who is good at golf to get a bit of help to see how far they can go, but it's such a difficult thing to get that right, isn't it? Impossible. Almost impossible.
And there's no rights or wrong. It's got to be done in performance, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Who gets the funding? I guess. Otherwise, you're always going to get somebody moaning about it anyway.
I know.
He got this. I didn't get that. He got this. We Jimmy didn't get that. Jimmy's doing better than him. How's he getting more than him? And
100%, it should be done on performance. It's the one sport, like Donald's always said, it's the one sport that, like, if you shoot the numbers, you'll do it. You shoot 68 every single time you play golf, you'll be a millionaire. Fact. You'll get in the squads if you're shooting 68s, and then you get in the squads, you'll get your funding, and then keep shooting. I mean, footballers, you can miss them. You could miss a.
Oh, I remember we had this.
I know, but I like I said, I've changed my mind, Donald.
If you just keep shooting the scores wherever you're playing, I think you're going to get noticed. It's
sure.
like say your mum and dad can't afford to take you to play in the Scottish national events, but see if you're shooting 68 and winning all the Fife ones, 67, if you're winning them all, you're going to get noticed, aren't you?
100%.
Somebody's going to go, bloody hell, that boy in Fife's pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't afford to go anywhere else, but we should get him help.
Yep.
I don't know what, but I'm trying to get back to the transition from amateur to pro. Like, what help do they need? What help does Conor Graham or the boys need to
that's where I think the mentorship does become a big thing. Guys that have done it, guys like Pete, guys like Paul Laurie, guys like Stephen Gallagher. Right? But go and talk to these guys, and go and talk to some of the guys that have failed as well. Right? Okay, you tried it. You were a superstar growing up, and then you never made it. What are the pitfalls?
What would you do differently?
Yeah. You need. It's all very well talking to successful ones, but
I couldn't agree more. I think if you asked the advice from a McElroy, you're not going to get very good advice.
Because it's been easy for Bob.
Bob McIntyre. Oh, I thought you said McElroy.
I did say McElroy, but
are you talking about Bob McElroy?
It's like taking a golf, golf lessons off somebody that's very, very good at something. They forget how hard it is. Sometimes it's easier if somebody was really had to work like a Trojan to get good. That's maybe the better advice. I don't know. Every walk of life's like that, but I do think you've got to be careful who you take your advice off. I think taking advice off a McElroy it'd be great chatting to McElroy. You'd probably pick his brain a few different departments, but not on how to get your career going. He just rocked up and got his card, didn't he? He was a superstar.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So I think there's a few guys that you could.
Yeah, you
could learn off.
Yeah, you could pick that. It's like Greg Hutchin.
Yeah.
Well, how did Greg do it? Greg's played Challenge Tour for years. He's been on and off the main tour. How did he go about it? Would he do things different to try and make that step up that it just kind of didn't quite manage? Guys like that can provide an awful lot, I think.
Yeah.
And then once
Greg
you get
doesn't mind me saying that.
once you get
No,
to
no, he's-
Greg Hutchins' level, you probably don't need his device anymore. You then need the next player up. It's the same as amateur golf.
But you need to
You can-
talk
is it-
to these guys.
But as a kid, you can take the advice from the guy playing for Fife. But once you're playing for Fife, you know you need to speak to the Scottish guy.
Yeah.
So as you go up, you need to always speak to people just a bit above you, I think.
Absolutely, and that's what I mean by getting them playing with not better players, but player. You know, you need to be pushing yourself to that next level all the time.
So would you speak to somebody?
Yeah.
Would you want to charge them?
No.
He's telling lies.
No, I wouldn't. No, not at all. No.
Quite happy to spend a day with Conor Graham. I keep saying Conor Graham. I feel like he's a superstar, baby.
No, he's probably above me already. But yeah, no, there's a few. Yeah, absolutely. Like Donald said, we played with some a couple, but they don't, and some of them are just quiet a bit. Yeah, no, it wouldn't bother me.
Would you give them the reality check you've just talked about, though?
That's the hard one. Mm-hmm. That's the hard one. I think
It's not hard anymore. Yes, you do give them it.
The older I get, I think the easier it would be to give them the reality check. And I have said it a couple of times to a couple of players I've been playing with, like, you can't beat me. What chance have you got? I'm an old has-been, can't play anymore, and you can't beat me. What chance you got? And then, but that being aside, sometimes it's the parents that need the educating.
But
the parents think that the kid is phenomenal, and it's them you could say to them, by the way, like, give them the reality check. I think sometimes giving a player a reality check, you don't want to burst their confidence. They might be good in years to come. Don't burst their confidence, say you'll never make it, but some of them need told that, but not very, very few. But it's the parents that need reality checks to go, like, oh, you're getting off excited about a kid here that's, he's
average.
He's standard. There's 1,000 of them in Scotland. Never mind once you get out of this tiny little fishbowl.
But it's also sometimes you give them that wee reality check in the hope that it's giving them the boot up the arse.
Yeah, exactly.
That they need.
Exactly.
It's not being nasty. I'll say things to kids because I know they're going to go, right, I'm going to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's really important that the guys.
That's just knowing
your role as a coach is to try and get your player to reach his potential.
Yeah.
And how big his potential is, well, you don't know yet, do you? It's very difficult to know. Sometimes you can go, well, you just say they're not good enough, but you don't know until they've done it and tried.
And they suddenly start working harder, and
if they're not
all mature at different levels. We were talking about with Michael the other day there, and Michael has to hit the ball a certain way because he's size at the moment, but when he gets stronger, it'll change almost overnight. Right?
Yeah.
The distance he'll hit the golf ball, and then suddenly that potential that was only there is suddenly gone way up there, right, and a growth spurt.
Exactly, and this is where almost the parents, the educate, just keep him on at his short game, keep him on at his putting. Like when Michael eventually gets that click where he's longer, he needs to be good at chip and putting, because that's the bit that just then you don't need to work on that. Like
going back to junior golf again. But I know what you mean.
Yeah,
it's so difficult though, isn't it? Like, I mean, you've got guys like Callum Hill that when I was at Mucker, it was never even mentioned to be a good player, like ever at all. And then 3 years down the line, you hear his name mentioned, you think, what, the same Callum Hill? And then another 3 years down the line, you think, bloody hell, what a player!
And
someone told him when he was 12 years old,
give up, isn't it? That's him put the graft in. No, but you don't need to be told at 12 to give up. You just put the graft in, and that's what I'm saying. Don't wait till you turn pro to put the graft in. He's put the graft in at the right time.
Do you know, like, what I think what has come round the table here is actual mentorship is the most important thing, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
I think your son Pierre.
Yep.
You, like we've said, I think I've already said it, but you're going to know where to put him and which coach. All PGA pros aren't good coaches.
Yep.
But you know who the good ones are.
Mm-hmm.
You know that it's not important to play in the US Kids World Under-8s Championship. But some people at home, and there's one of them that's here actually, who's got a really good kid who thought that this is the right thing, needs to send it to these things. And it really doesn't matter. Who cares? You're better off playing the medal down at the club. It doesn't make any difference. It's the same as young football. I would imagine every sport, it's not that important. But your kid is going to have the right advice all the way through, and the right, you're going to tell him if he's not working hard enough. Do you really want to be good at this? If you really want to be good at this, you're not working hard enough. It's up to you. It's not up to me. It's up to you.
Yeah.
and you're going to know who to get them to play with, and you're going to guide them. And Stuart Graham's done that with his kids. And you know, you listen to so many examples. Justin Thomas's dad, Bob McIntyre's dad's a good golfer. You know, but it's so important to have somebody guiding you along the way, and it starts probably from quite an early age to give them that work ethic, because they then understand, oh, I need to do that. But there's so many kids that probably grow up and have to find out themselves later on, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then once you get to the top level, it's still mentorship. It's mentorship all the way to the top.
100%. I always say that's one of the things I felt like I maybe missed out a little bit on, was the mentorship from a guy leagues above me, or you know, a couple of leagues. I was playing with you guys all the time, but never really had the ear of a Paul Laurie or the ear of a. And now they're offering their ears. Listen, do you know what I mean? Get involved or ask. Phone up, pick up the phone and just ask them, like, would you mind sitting down for a coffee? Just anything. I think it's massively. I think it is massively important. I think it's important for the parents as well.
I also remember as being a young kid in the Scottish squads and Jim Farmer speaking to me, and I was like, you know, you're arrogant. You think you're brilliant at that age, and Jim Farmer's not going to teach me anything. I didn't even know what Jim Farmer had done in his career. Turns out he was quite a good golfer. You know, but like
would you have listened to
Sam Torrance?
Sam Torrance clocked in. Your ears would perk up, right? So you've got to put the right people in front of these people. You've got to give them enough where, and again, it's not a McElroy in front of them. It's somebody, maybe, I don't know, Coulthard seems like, you know, he'd be a guy I'd listen to.
And that's not coaching. That's not golf swing.
No, 100% not golf swing.
It's
just life, reality, what to do, the pathways to get there, and all this. Making
if
decision
Sam
making.
Torrance had come in and said, right, guys, I get lessons off Jim. Jim just gave me a wee hand here. Then suddenly you're going to go, all right, Jim's quite good.
Yeah, of course.
You know, whether that's the truth or not.
Yeah.
You know, but just adding these wee things in, just these wee different layers in that gets their attention.
And their parents, and nowadays it seems as important as anything to actually mentor the parents as it is the kid.
I think so,
because the parents are so involved. God, but yeah. Andy, who was your mentor?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, like I've got a lot of time for Spencer. I mean, I started getting lessons off him when I was about, I don't know, 12 or 13 maybe, and then he went away to, I can't remember the two. It was Turkey and Azerbaijan. I think
it was. Yeah.
And I kind of felt like I loved the golf for quite a while. And then when he came back, I sort of met up with him again. And I've got a lot of time for Spencer, and I think that's the one in golf. When I was a junior, a bit like what you guys are saying. Like, I didn't really know that much. My dad was a golfer. You know, he wasn't a great golfer. He was a golfer, but he still didn't know. You know, he spoke to Spencer probably more than I did, in the sense of when I was younger, to be like, what would you suggest? Where would you go? Or what would you enter and stuff? And so again, it was.
But again, I'm not blaming your dad. But if you'd grown up with Peter as a dad,
yeah,
you know, you hit the ball miles. You've got a good swing. If you had the right advice and coaching, maybe early on, you might be in a different golfer altogether.
I think a lot for me was I didn't want it enough. I mean, I still remember sort of in the winter and whatnot getting lessons, and then I would kind of be like, I would justify the practice myself. I'd be like, I'll go and play instead. And you know, that way where in my head I wanted to kind of believe that I was working hard, but I wasn't. You know, and I think for me personally, I wasn't mature enough at that age to really, you know, if I got that time again, I would be different.
Or just not surrounded by enough good players.
Quite possibly, yeah. Yes,
I think that's where the coming down with better players, or surrounding yourself with the right people, does it. Mm-hmm. It's just seeing what he's doing and how he's getting better, and you're like, I'm kind of like I'm like staying still, and he's getting better. What's he doing? Just watching what they do, like whether they practice before the round, whether they practice after the round, whether they.
It's working smart, not necessarily everyone says working hard, but it's working smart as well.
Exactly.
Doing the right thing. Just whacking balls after balls after balls isn't necessarily working hard.
No, it's finding the right formula for you, right?
Yeah.
And
it's not just golf that this is, you know, for. You know, if you had 10 friends and they were all, you know, business entrepreneurs, millionaires, there's a good chance you're going to be find a way to make £1 million as well. You know, who you hang around with and the people you listen to and speak to.
It does influence you.
It's the most valuable thing, isn't it?
Yep. It is, yeah. And then you know, like I was saying, you can take all the talent in the world, but there's only all those group of guys. There's only going to be one that's going to make it, and you got to then you start picking out the 1%. That's the reason he's made it, and the rest of them haven't. And there's so much more to the game. Like I say this all the time. So much more to the game than the golf swing. And
well, but Bob McIntyre,
I think you learn this not just from swing lessons or from.
Bob McIntyre is a really good example of that. I mean, if you put Bob McIntyre, Connor Syme, Grant Forrest when they were playing young golf, James White even, you know, Bob McIntyre doesn't look like the swinger out of them.
No.
But he has something in him that is different.
Correct.
And people have seen that difference for a long time. Yeah. I mean, I saw
his back manager has anyway.
that Martin Dempster wrote an article just when they all got on the European tour, saying that that's our next Andy Murray. And I always remember that article because that was before he had done it. I was like, aye, well, maybe.
Exactly.
Why him?
If you'd placed those two down, so it was him and Grant Forrest, for example, and by the way, Grant's phenomenal, lovely guy. From the day he sort of popped his head up in the pro ranks, I was like, superstar. That swing is immense. He's got an old head and young shoulders. Everything about him was phenomenal. But God, it took him decades to get up there and do what we all thought he could do, and he's starting to do it.
Decades.
A decade, right? He's won twice now, isn't he? But you know, like for him, they're small wins, right? As far as what I touted him, and then if you'd probably, I mean, I played with Bob when he was coming through amateur ranks, and I didn't look at him twice really. I'm not going to lie. I remember Stoddy saying, "Oh, this is one of the young kids," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever, just get him out of my way." And yeah, I didn't look
Who's
twice.
your mentor?
No, but I was still competing back then.
Well,
Again, taking a mentor from a competing person, I don't think is a great idea. But you know, those two, they were chalk and cheese to me. Like Grant was the guy. Grant was. I would have put all my money in Grant. Whereas, and then Bob's the guy that does it. Do you know what I mean? So there are so many other reasons for it. It's not just the golf swing. Oh God, you could go down so many routes here. I'll get myself all tangled up.
I know, we haven't got time for that.
yeah, we meant to talk about something completely different actually today. We'll do that next week. We've already didn't have any to speak about it. We've spoke about something completely wrong for the last hour.
I would be interested to see where Scottish golf go next, because as I say, if you've not got the funding for someone to try and get the results, I'm not sure where they go from there.
Exactly. So who do you employ if Spencer's not your man? I'm not saying he's the only guy.
But when you had all these guys, you know, right? When we mentioned the guys you're talking about, how much funding did they get? How much funding did Sandy Leg? Well, he was English. How much funding did Santorns get? Monty get?
I just feel like it's because the world's changed now.
Yeah.
And they're all so much more highly coached, and they've got fitness and they're psychologists and all these other departments that they seem to have to spend money on. I think they need it now, though, don't they? You know, I think.
Oh, well, we're certainly much more needy than we ever were.
Yeah.
I could be interested.
Need and want's a different thing.
I'd be interested in seeing the stats. I should have probably looked at something like this, but the difference, like how many guys make it from the Scottish group, if you like, versus the guys that have just been out in the States. So guys that didn't go to college in America versus the guys that have just kind of kicked about and tried to make it as a pro or top amateur level back here.
What we forget is the weather. You know, like,
that's why, yeah.
I would have thought a lot of kids go to America because, well, the college season is September to May.
Well, that's why I went there.
It's the weather, the practice facilities, and the tournaments as well. But, you know, like, Scottish golf are only in charge of this wee bit in the middle.
Wee window.
And then they send them off. I mean, how important is a week in Dubai in December to any golfer? It's personally, I would see it as a holiday.
Of course you would be.
Well, you guys were both involved in with Scottish squads.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Where was your trip?
We were never sent away for a week.
No,
I was never sent away.
Well, we
for
were
a
in the
week's
Mars
training.
bar and a bottle of water a year.
We went to Drummoy for a cold weekend in Drummoy.
Yeah,
that's right. But in these squad sessions, how much did you get out of them?
I remember
Very little.
It was a get together.
Okay, it was. I remember standing around a bunker watching Jim Farmer hitting a bunker shot, showing us how to play a bunker shot, and we were all. And I just thought, what's the point here? We're all like scratch golfers. You know, we know how to get out of a bunker.
Yeah.
Some of us are better than others, But that's an individual thing. That's group coaching is just a joke.
At elite
It is.
level, 100% it is.
Yeah,
and
100%.
that's what I say all the time.
I couldn't agree more.
And that's why I'm saying I don't think we should have a national coach as such as like that for doing that thing. We should have a
But
team
there's two
captain.
sides to every story,
Of
and if
course
you
there
take
is.
all the boys out to South Africa, going back to what I was saying earlier, at least you're surrounding yourself with good players, and you might learn what Jimmy's doing over there, and,
I'm
and
up
you will
for-
get
yeah.
that sort of stuff.
I'm
but
up-
it's not the coaching part; it's just surround yourself, competing against players at your level.
I'm up for going to South Africa, playing the South African Amateur Championship and playing some golf tournaments.
Yep.
I just don't know about a week practicing in Dubai. I just don't know. But
If you make it competitive enough, and that is what Spencer's job, I gather, was part of that was making it as a performance coach. Would be making that week competitive enough where you're learning, being competitive. You're doing X, Y, and Z.
okay, good. We need to stop. Dubai World Playoffs start this weekend with the top 70. McIlroy's there, Penge, the drill. Top 50 go into the final, and who cares who wins it? It's obviously going to be McIlroy, probably.
If he turns up there,
Can he be number one in Europe again? Playing in like 7 events.
Max.
Yeah, so he's played 9 and Penge has played 24. That's just nonsense. But a couple of good tournaments to look forward to anyway. Okay, we will speak to you all next time. Thank you very much for being here, guys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.